It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Well, hello everyone. It's your girl Gabrielle from A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Topics. We've been at this for a while now, but in case you're new to the game, this is a web series where we talk about things in education, employment, mental health, social services, physical health, or anything else that is steamy. We are a tutoring company, so we got to stay within our lane here, but we can't talk about everything. But the things that we do talk about are just as important. So our topic today, if you remember from the previous video, we talked about, should I become an actor? That was one of our older episodes. So that was part 1. So today we're going to continue that discussion with part 2, should I become an actor? But we are specifically going to focus on choosing an agent and protecting yourself. So should I become an actor? That is our topic for today, but it's in continuation from the previous episode. So this is part 2, and today we're going to focus on, again, choosing an agent and protecting yourself. And I have a returning guest who's going to help me out. Her name is Debra Pralle, and she's going to help me continue this discussion today. So if you're not already familiar with Debra Pralle, if you haven't watched the previous episode, I'm just going to tell you about her. Excuse me. So Debra Pralle has been a professional actor for over 20 years and an instructor and director for close to a decade. She holds an MA in theater, a BA in clinical psychology, and has been an associate faculty member in the theater departments of Tarrant County CC, Highland CC, Seattle Film Institute, and Shoreline CC. Debra's work as an actor encompasses stage, screen, and radio. Her recent film work includes roles in Wild with Reese Witherspoon and The Architect with Parker Posey. She has appeared in numerous films, including the lead role in Diana Turner's The Writer's Model, an award-winning film at the Festival Internazionale Cinema delle Donne in Torino, Italy, for the sarcasm in which the protagonist stands up to and disarms her weird male audience. See, you caught that there, I was working on my Italian. Television and radio credits include guest appearances as Emma Wolfe on the TNT drama Leverage, Gail Taylor on the Lifetime made-for-television movie Hit and Run, Kelly Smith on Citizen Baines, Marlene Day on CBS's The Fugitive, and D.A. Hertz on NBC's Grimm. She has also done several commercials, industrials, and voiceovers for companies like Microsoft, Delta Dental, Russell Investments, Yes on 522 Political Campaign, Media Partners, Providence Medical, and the video game Supreme Commander 2. Her stage experience is extensive and includes work at theaters such as Seattle Repertory, Seattle Shakespeare Company, Village, ACT, Annex, and TAG. She had the honor of receiving a Seattle Times Footlight Award for Outstanding Acting and has written and produced a one-woman show entitled No Demerits for Dancing, which played in theater festivals in Seattle and Colorado. Her directing for the stage credits include Antigone, 6 Degrees of Separation, The Texarkana Waltz, Live from the Last Night of My Life, Hopscotch and the 75th, 6 Women with Brain Death, This Property is Condemned, and The Laramie Project. Her film directing credits include the short film Period, which she also wrote and produced and is actually on her YouTube channel, which we will reference later. And in her spare time, if there is such a thing, she catches yoga classes, shares favorite wines with her friends, and happily takes on the roles of wife to Chad and mother to Sophia and Miles. So I'm going to bring Debra Pralle to the stage. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back to Hot Topics. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be back.
Awesome. So we're continuing our discussion about becoming an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And last time we talked about the pros and cons of the acting industry. So now we're going to talk about selecting an agent and protecting yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, as we did before, I'm going to turn the floor over to you, and I'm going to let you speak your piece.
Sure. Yeah. So I think I just also want to lead with that it was a very there's a lot of information you just gave everybody about what I've done as an actor. And I will just say that all of that took close to 30 years to build up. So for those of you starting out in acting, it takes time to do all that stuff. But over time, you do hopefully get a lot of opportunities. And one of the ways that I've had the opportunities to work in television and films, also even some of the radio spots and the industrials and things I've done is because I've had agents. And an agent's job is to represent you as an actor. So in doing that, what they do is when auditions come to them from casting directors, they look through their, Rolodex of who fits what that production is looking for. And they ask if you want to audition for this particular project. So imagine there's a project here and you're the actor and here's the agent. And the agent is trying to grab that project and bring it over to you so you can audition for it or try to get the job. So that's the agent's primary job. From there, if you book the job, which remember we talked about last week, very often you won't. That's just statistics and that's just how it goes. But when you do, your agent will then act as, think about it like a real estate agent. You know how like when you want to buy a house or you want to buy an apartment, a real estate agent takes care of the contracts and the negotiations and all of those sorts of things. That's the other thing that an agent does. It's really important, which takes that out of you having to deal with it as an actor. And that's really important because, what if you're in a position where you audition for something and they said, hey, this is going to pay $500 a day. And then you get there and then they're like, oh, actually, no, it's going to pay about $375. Is that okay? And they ask you, the actor, and you're like, no, that's not okay. But if I say it's not okay, are you going to fire me now? Like, what does that mean? So it's the same thing. Like if you're buying a house, it takes the person that's trying to do the job out of it. So those are the two major things that your agent is going to do for you. They're going to get you the audition. If you get the job, they're going to follow through on how much you're going to get paid, what's in the contract, all that sort of stuff, and make sure that that follows through. What they get for doing that for you is 10% of your salary. So if I make $1,000 on a job, my agent will get a cut of $100 for bringing that job to me and following through on the negotiations. Now that's for union work, which is Screen Actors Guild or the American Federation of Television Association. That's the standard. They cannot take any more. If you do non-union work, which is outside of the union, then agents have a little more flexibility. They might take 15% or even 20% of what you make. So that's negotiable. But anything more than that, then I would say that your agent is taking way too much money and is exploiting you. So the only way that an agent makes money is when you make money.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
I just want to repeat that. Agents only make money when you make money. So if you go to an agent and they're like, yeah, we'd love to represent you. Here's our fees for representing you for the year. You can say, thank you very much. You can turn around and walk out of the office. All right. There's no fees for an agent. Sometimes agents too will do things like, well, we have an acting school and a headshot thing, and you have to attend our classes and you have to buy headshots from this person. That's kind of skimming off the top again. They're taking money from you that they shouldn't, right? That's for something different. If you want to pay for a class, that's on you. You need to go get headshots. You have to go pay for that. That's on you. But it shouldn't come necessarily from your agent. So that's the primary job of an agent. How do I get an agent? Well, actually, should I stop here? Let me stop and see if you have any questions from that. Is there anything we want to? Was that fairly clear, Gabrielle?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you were just about to jump into how to get an agent.
How to get it. Okay, great.
Okay, there you go.
So how do I get an agent? Well, agencies are always looking to have a variety of different types of people that are in their agency, so that when projects come to them, if they say, hey, we're looking for a male Asian in his 40s, they can say, well, yes, I have 2 or 3 of those, because this is the one place where you can be very specific about who you hire. There's no discriminatory stuff. They can hire whoever they want. So agencies will try to have a nice base of different ages, races, and genders of actors who are ready to go. Obviously, they're going to want to represent actors who are good, right? Who have taken some classes or gone through a program and are, putting themselves out there and that are versatile and stuff. So that's the other key thing they're often looking for. So for your job as an actor is to, again, take classes, get involved in groups and scene study and monologue study and all those kinds of things. If you have the luxury of going through a college program and getting a degree in theater or something, fantastic. That's going to train you from top to bottom and look really impressive when you're trying to get an agent. But just like any other job, agent wants your resume. So you have to put together an acting resume, right, of the projects that you've done or the classes that you've taken, and also a headshot. This is critical. You cannot move forward with an agent without a headshot, because it's the headshot that goes to the, when people ask, do you have some of these people? They'll say, send us their headshot, because that's the first tier of, yes, I want to see them, or no, I don't. So that's something as an actor that you have to invest in. And there's all kinds of different people who do headshot resumes. So shop around, ask other people, go on photographers' websites, look at the headshots, see what kind of headshots they take. Do you like them? And be willing to spend, I'm going to say between $300 and $500 to get really good headshots. Ladies, if you wear makeup, and even guys, when I update my headshots, I always hire a hair and makeup person for that day who is really good about how to do what kind of makeup for the camera, make it look really good. So you do have to invest in that and a headshot and your talent. And then you go and you reach out to different agencies who you think you would like to represent. I haven't had to get an agent in like 15 years. So I am not as up on how to get an agent exactly. It used to be that you mail the headshot and resume, like mail. Now I'm sure it's electronic, but I would just go to that agent's website, see if they're taking submissions from people, if they're looking at actors, and submit your headshot and resume. Follow up in a couple of weeks if they haven't heard, if you haven't heard from them. And from there, my guess is that they're either going to already know what work you've done, or they're going to bring you in and have you do kind of a little audition, maybe read some commercial copy or do a monologue or, do a little scene from a film or something, so they can see how you are on your feet, on camera, how you audition. And then if they take you, they take you, and that's great. So that's kind of the process.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was $300 to $500 for a headshot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, would a simple selfie on your phone do, or go into like a drugstore and taking a picture?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's really, if you've got a friend who can take really good pictures, the trick with headshots is they need to look very natural, but also.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It needs to be very focused on you. So headshots are usually like, look how I'm gonna look in the camera. All of this would be gone. It would just be, from the waist up or whatever. But they want to, like a pleasant smile. Your hair has to look good. You have to be. So this is your calling card. It is the one big investment as an actor that you are going to make. And the good news is you're probably not going to change all that much for 5, 6, even 7 years. So unless you do something drastic, like, chop all your hair off or, something really change, that headshot will last you many, many years. But no. I don't know. Some people do take good selfies, but I would say it's not what they're looking for. I'm sorry. It's just the investment that you have to make, and get a couple of really good looks. One with you, I call it kind of a commercial look, like smiling. We see your teeth and it's really pleasant. And maybe one that's a little more, not dramatic, but a little more kind of maybe serious, but pleasant, maybe a little slightly mysterious. But you don't have to do characters. You don't have to be like, hi, I'm a police officer. Here's my police officer headshot. You don't have to do anything like that. But you gotta do it right. Because if you don't, it's gonna prevent you from. It's going to prevent you from getting an agent. I really believe that. It's a bummer.
So, agents don't fall out of the sky. We have to go and apply to, I guess it makes sense, because if they're taking commission pay, they're not just going to take anybody. So.
Right. And I would say, I really like my agency because it's smaller. And so they don't have, 25 white women of a certain age, right? So that, when they do get the call, there's not, 20 people in my agency competing for that one part. They've got like their 3 or 4 women that they have, and we go after those parts. So yeah, they're going to represent, but honestly, it totally depends on what they need in their group at that time. So I encourage anybody to try to get an agent, to try to get any agent. The other thing I'd say is, ask around, see what agencies are reputable, see if they are SAG or AFTRA like certified or affiliated. In other words, they've gone through the process with SAG and AFTRA to make sure that they don't steal your money or try to manipulate you. And I guess the other thing is, like, do you like working with them? Do you think that they're going to go to bat for you? I mean, that's really their job. Their job is to promote you. Well, you're supposed to promote yourself, but they're going to promote you, and they're going to go after the best contracts for you. That's their job. So.
All right. So do you recommend, like, all right, I'm going into acting starting tomorrow. I'm going to just go for it and go into acting. So yeah. Should I look for an agent first, or should I try to, kind of book gigs myself, or how soon should I get an agent?
Yeah, I mean, you can absolutely. I know there's a lot of people that look things up like on Backstage, and they do their own hustling, to get their own auditions, and you can absolutely do that. And I can do that. If something comes up or a director says, hey, I want you to audition for this, I don't have to be like, I have to go ask my, my agent. I just go and we work it out. But I would say if you're just starting out and you don't have any experience as an actor, the one thing that you need to do right away is just take a basic beginning acting class. You could take it at a community college. You could take it through a program. You could do it online. Although now that we're coming out of COVID, I highly recommend you get into a space with people in that kind of acting class, because that response is really important. And see if you're actually really comfortable with it. There's a lot of romantic ideas of what acting is, but when you're actually in a room with people watching you doing lines and interacting and doing that sort of stuff, you might find that I don't really think that I like this very much. If you still like it and you're compelled, then try to build some kind of even small resume, keep taking classes, and then get the headshot. And then, of course, reach out for, who knows? I mean, you never know. An agent might be like, I love what you're doing. You've done a really good monologue here. I think you're really compelling on camera. I'd love to represent you. Right. And then you've got an agent, and then you've got someone who is getting, the jobs from the casting directors. And if you're eligible, we'll send you out. The other thing too, is if you have the opportunity to do a play, even at a community theater or something like that, you can always invite agents to see your work. That's another, that's something that I did starting out in the dark ages, is I would invite casting directors and agents to come and see the shows that I was doing. And that helped a lot too. But I think those 3 things are pretty key. Pretty key. I know in LA it can be a lot harder to get an agent because they're a lot pickier. So I can't speak to that process as much.
Okay. So is 10% like the standard commission rate? Like, do some of them take like 15 or 20%?
Right. So the Screen Actors Guild, the union jobs that fall under union contracts, agents can only take 10%. That is the standard, period, end of discussion. They can't. But if it's a non-union job where the contracts haven't gone through the union, they're not SAG or AFTRA approved, at that point, the agent can ask for 10, 15, sometimes even 20%. What will often happen, though, is that the agent will charge them a fee. So in other words, if it's a non-union job with T-Mobile, and T-Mobile wants to pay me $5,000, please, T-Mobile. Often my agents will attach a 20% agent's fee onto what they pay me. So that will be above the 5,000 will be the additional 20% that they will get, right? Maybe from the actual person. It doesn't mean that I still won't pay them 10%, right, for what they've done, but it gets a little murky in there. But I think the main thing that you need to know as an actor is that no agent should be taking half of your money or 30% of your money. I think anything over 20% is egregious, and I would question what was going on. That's a safety thing if we want to move into that category.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay. So in terms of getting paid, like, do the producers, do they pay the agent and the agent gives you your cut, or do you get the money and you're expected to pay the agent? How does the what am I trying to say? How does the line of transfer of money work?
Right. It's different, again, depending on whether or not it's union or non-union. I just finished a union job with Microsoft. Microsoft, with a production company working for Microsoft. The production company paid me through Talent Pay Services. I got the checks yesterday. I took pictures of all of the checks. I sent those pictures to my agent. My agent will record that, and then she will send me a bill for 10%, the 10% that is part of those checks, and I will pay my agency directly 10%. If it's a non-union, often they will pay my agent, then my agent will send me my cut of what I made. So it kind of, it just depends. It depends on the client. And usually you should always get paid within 30 days of completing a job as well. So if for some reason you're still not seeing a check after 30 days, get on your agent, ask, have the checks come through? Have you seen anything, so they can start following up? Because there have been times definitely in my career when I haven't been paid in 30 days. And if it's a union job, they get fined for that. So so 30 days could go either direction.
All right. I heard you mention a few times, you talked about SAG and AFTA and union jobs. Can you just go into that a little bit more? What's union, what's non-union, what's SAG, all that stuff.
Yeah. So my biggest thing I tell young actors starting out is don't be so quick to join the union, because once you join SAG or AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild, actually they're combined now. They used to be two separate things. One was film and one was television radio, and they've kind of combined into one big giant union. Once you do that, in most states, you can no longer do a non-union project. That's the point. You're a union actor. You only do union jobs. Some jobs aren't union. And when you're starting out, especially when you're starting out, a lot of short films, for example, they don't go through the union process. They don't offer union contracts, even though they can hire union actors for little to no money. They have like very tiny, contracts and stuff. But a lot of producers or directors are scared to enter into that relationship with the union. So when I was starting out, it was really critical for me to do as many short films as I could before I joined the union, so that number one, I got the experience of being on set and I learned my craft. And number two, I had decent scenes that I could put together to put on a demo reel, which is ultimately what you want to do too. You want to have enough work that you can put on a demo reel and hand to somebody and say, this is what I can do. So I didn't join the union until...
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Can't even remember. I'd probably been acting for 4 or 5 years, but I had gotten some television shows and I'd gotten some other things, and I decided to go ahead and join so that I could, sort of a step towards your professional career as an actor to join the union. Ultimately that's what you want to do, because you're going to, even though you have to pay dues every year, they're protecting your work, they're protecting you on sets, they're taking out retirement and things like that for you. So it's, but again, once you join, you're not supposed to do non-union work. So, and to join also, I think it's about, I'm sorry, I didn't do my research. It could be upwards of $2,000 to $3,000 to join the union. Most people join the union when they book a job big enough that it pays for their dues. So that's kind of the trick people use.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. All right, so let's jump into the other part, which is protecting yourself. So can you talk more about what things that can go wrong in terms of finding an agent, or I mean, I know we talked about a bit of it, like talk about the dangers of working with agencies.
Sure. I mean, I think, I don't know, I think there's more dangers just working on sets and working around other people, but I can definitely see where I had an agent when I first started out in Texas who just wasn't very good at her job. And so she kind of gave me conflicting information. Sometimes she would send me out for auditions that I thought were voiceovers, but were actually on camera. And I wasn't like dressed and prepared for that, which then can make me look unprepared as an actor. I don't want to walk in and be like, well, my agent, I don't want to do that either. So you want to get somebody who is competent and consistent, and, so you don't get in those kinds of traps. I wouldn't sign a contract with an agent I don't sign contracts with agents. They just represent me. And if I don't want them to represent me anymore, they don't represent, I can go get a different agent. Some agencies will ask you to sign on for a year. I wouldn't sign on for any more than a year, because what if you're with this agent and they're not that great? Then you're stuck, right? Then you have to work out of that contract. So at least in the Pacific Northwest, none of us really work with contracts. It's understood. I'm working with my agent, and if I don't want to, I'll get rid of her. So that would be one, thing. Are they consistent and they're good at their job? Are they making you sign these egregious contracts for years to represent you? Are they asking for more than 20%? Are they trying to get you to buy services? That's a red flag. What else? I mean, I think those are the main issues. But the other thing I would just say is, if it's just really not working, I had an agent in Seattle at first for quite a while, but I found again that they weren't trying to get me more money. They weren't asking for more money. They weren't, they were kind of not undercutting me, but what's the word? Like, I was booking work, but they were still questioning me all the time. And I'm like, I'm booking work. So, and so that kind of stuff, I was just like, you know what? I don't think this relationship isn't working. It's a relationship. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get to. And if you find that relationship just isn't working anymore, you can break up, you can divorce, and you can go to a different agency. And that's what I did. I reached out to another agency, and I just felt way better about that team and what they were doing and how they would represent me. So I jumped. Which can be kind of scary, it's like, oh, if it is kind of a breakup because you've been working with them. But yeah, but I mean, those are the only things about agents that I would say is, there should never be everything should be above board, transparent, in the open, and honest. And if they can't do that, then get out. Or if they're asking for favors to get you auditions, that's terrible, right? You shouldn't have to do anything other than show up and do your job. So
to that point, can you have multiple agents at the same time, or do you have to choose one agent?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, you're probably just going to want your one agent. And the one thing that I look for too is what kind of agent is it? There are some agencies that represent, I mean, like in New York, there's agents who represent actors in theater and film and television. In the Northwest, there's not enough theater to really do that. So actors here tend to just try to get their own theater work on their own. Their actors don't, or their agents don't represent them for that. Some agents only represent voiceover actors, right? So if that's your thing, you might want to look for a voiceover actor. I have a dear friend who is a very famous voiceover actress. And she has, we share the same agent here, but she also has another voiceover agent, I think like in Pittsburgh or something, because there's a bunch of work that she was doing there. And that agent, it just made more sense for that agent to be sending her stuff because they had connections that made sense. But I think both her agents know that she's represented by both of them for different projects. Because, you know, obviously if you book a job, who's going to get the money, which agent? So, but I do know people that have a couple of different agents depending on their specialties and where they live. So, but I think in the beginning, you just want to get an agent that gets, you know, commercial work and film and television work and maybe industrials and stuff like that. Find that agent.
And what about choosing like legitimate agents as opposed to like shady people?
Right. Well, that's where your research comes in, right? How long has this agency been around? Who do they represent? Are they SAG-AFTRA certified? Have they gone through that process? What, I don't know. Trust your gut. If your gut is like, this doesn't seem right, they're trying to sell me stuff, they're asking for high percentages, just walk away. Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll be in touch. That's what I say. Thank you so much. I'll be in touch. And you're gone, right? Same thing if you're with an agent for like 5 or 6 months and you're not going out on any auditions or think that nothing's go anywhere. See what you can do. See if there's anything you can do on your end, but feel free to cut ties. Just walk away, which is again why I don't think you should sign any like really big detailed contracts either. I really don't think you need to do that. So, but I could be totally off on that, and I could just be in my fantasy world up here with my agent that I love. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, I imagine if it's commission pay, there might be some sort of contract, but, or some sort of written understanding. But I mean, ideally nothing long-term, because I mean, you're just starting to get to know the agent. Is that
right? Fair
to say?
Right. Yep. It's a relationship. You're going to kind of move in and see how things go. And it's possible they might let you go. That happens as well. There are sometimes agencies will clean house and be like, this person hasn't been booking any work. I don't mean to like put fear of God in you or anything, like, oh my God, if I don't, book work. But if you're not going to auditions, if you're not getting callbacks, if you're never available, if you're, all those things, after a while, an agent might say, I think we're good. And that's the conundrum as an actor, is that you somehow have to be available for these random auditions and have a job, right? That pays your bills. So it's complicated. It's hard and it's complicated. And most agencies know that. They know that when they send an audition to you that you've got 48 hours to figure it out. And are you available? I just had an audition for this thing that's shooting in Spokane on Monday. And it was like the shoot dates were October 5th, 7th, 12th, 19th, 22nd. I live in Seattle, which is 5 hours from Spokane. And then they're like, and you'd be on hold these days. Also, the production's not going to pay for your lodging while you're in Spokane. Right? And so it becomes this whole ordeal that you have to work out with your agent and go, is this really worth it? Does this make financial sense? Can we make this work, et cetera? And your agent should be completely transparent and should know how much you're going to get paid for that project and what the percentages are going to be on their end. That should be upfront. That should be part of your decision-making process, right? When my agent sends me an audition and says, hey, I've got this short film, but it only pays $100 a day. And I read the script and I'm like, this film sucks. no, thank you. Especially not $100 a day. I'm getting too old. I don't need the, the hassle or the experience. And they're fine with that. My agents are fine. They're like, totally get it. Don't worry about it.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
But it's just communicating with them is really critical. Holding them to the fire in terms of what their job is.
Okay, awesome. So what about like I guess like for lack of a better term, like physical safety concerns, like should I go to an agent's office in like a questionable neighborhood, or what if they want to see me and it's like 10 o'clock at night, like any kind of physical safety.
Sure.
Or what if it's, it's me and the agent in a room by ourselves and, any kind of questionable behavior, even so far as, sexual harassment.
Sure.
So what about those types of things?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, of course, I would say I have never with an agent had that sort of situation happen. That's not to say that it doesn't. I can't imagine any reason. The thing is, when you audition, you are not auditioning for your agent. You're auditioning 99% of the time for a casting director. So the agent is just up here getting you the information, getting you what time your audition is, what the expectations are, how much you're going to get paid, all that kind of stuff. They're conveying information. So really that comes more into, now I'm in a casting agency. I'm in a room with a casting director. Should I ever be in a room with a casting director at 10 o'clock in a hotel? No. But we all know that in the past, that sort of stuff happened, and people were asked to do stuff like that. And as a young actor or a new actor, you're like, well, I really want to get this job. It's, with this really surely it's okay. It's so I would say, no, your safety is always of paramount importance. I can't imagine. No, I would not go to a hotel for an audition unless, and I did go once, it was at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, chairs were set up, there were other actors there, right? There was a casting director, there were several people. So this was where they had to hold auditions because it was a company from out of town, right? So that's like, okay, that's fair enough. I'm going to look around. But if you're ever in a situation, absolutely not. No, an agent should never withhold information from you to get something from you. Gosh, no. And I would report any of them right away. Like if you weren't getting paid in a timely manner, or if they were threatening you, I would raise some hell and run away. But yeah, I mean, like I said, but your safety as an actor is always critical. You should never have to, when you go into an audition either, I'm auditioning for this part, and then you get there and then the director says, oh, by the way, we're actually really thinking that, this part might be, she might be topless. So would you mind doing that? No. Right. So transparency, and I've auditioned for things where there was nudity, but I knew that up front. Right. So transparency. There shouldn't be any big surprises from anybody on any level. And walk away. No one's going to ruin your career. No one's going to, and you're going to do somebody a big favor by walking away and shouting it from the rooftop that this sort of stuff is happening, because you'll help prevent it for other people. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Mm-hmm. All right. So we are, we are starting to wind down a little bit. So do you have any final advice for any people watching right now? Maybe, well, before I get to that, do you know the process of how to become an agent?
I don't know. You know, a lot of agents that I know have had experience in like theater or production and stuff on some level. So they kind of understand the industry, but you should get an agent. You know what? I will give you my agent's number, and Aaron and Jamie can have a show with you and tell you all about it. I don't know.
That's fine. And yeah, feel free to pass their information on to me. But yes, all right. So back to my question.
Yeah.
So any final advice for any people who want to get into acting? You know, any for the newbies out there, or you know, or maybe they've been searching for gigs for a long time, or any final advice to the viewers?
Yeah. Gosh. It's such a, like I said in the last video, you know, every day basically as an actor, you wake up unemployed, right? Even after you do a job, you're like, great, I did a job. And the next day, you're like, I got to get another job. So if you don't have that kind, if you prefer stability, then this may not be the profession for you. If you prefer to not be rejected, this is not the profession for you. But if you can look at your acting career as this really exciting, cool, fun way to be creative and express yourself and play characters and interact with other creative people and just create things. Like if you have to create things, if you just need to do this, then you absolutely should. And just know that you're going to have to work a little up front, you know, take classes. Like I said, take improv classes, take dance classes, take acting classes, try to build your community, and then get your headshot and your resume and try really hard to get an agent. And every time you have an audition, give it your best shot and then walk away, right? Every audition is an opportunity, many of which will not turn into a job, but it's an opportunity. You may not get this job, but you're going to meet somebody else and you're going to learn, you're going to get better. If you're ever in a situation where you feel like your safety is being compromised, walk away. Do not worry that anybody's going to ruin your career or go after you or anything like that. Just walk away, and it's getting better. Yeah. And your agent should be your best person. They should be advocating for you, and you should be working with them and communicating with them. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's fun. Listening to you go through my resume, I was like, oh yeah, look at all those things I've done. Those were all really cool, fun projects, right? So even if you never make a living as an actor, as many people, it's very difficult to do. Just doing creative projects and being with people and making movies and doing theater is such a joy. It's such a joy that, if you get paid, great. I hope you do. I want you to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to put up your contact information on the screen.
Yeah, and I encourage people, seriously, if you have a specific question or you want to, please email me. I would be happy to, try to answer your questions or set up a quick time to chat with you. Absolutely.
All right, and you heard that, folks. So if you have any questions about getting into acting or finding an agent or, the safety or concerns or things like that, definitely shoot her an email. It is scrolling below, and it is her name. So
pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Straightforward. You could also go to her website to learn more about her at www.openwindowentertainment.com. And she is also on YouTube. You could just type in her name, Debra Pralle, and you'll see all her lovely videos, and you will even see that short film called Period.
Yeah.
So the short film is also on there as well. So definitely reach out to her if you have any questions, or maybe you're an agent and you want to hire her.
If you've got a project, talk to my agent. Yeah, let them take care of it.
Oh, so they have to go through sorry, so now that leads to another question. So do they have to go through an agent, or can they contact you directly?
Anybody can hire anybody. Before I had an agent, I could just work on projects. But now that I do have an agent, yes, if people want to talk to me about projects, I'm happy to talk to them. But eventually, I'll turn it over to my agent to negotiate what it is. So yeah, I mean, I still do stuff for free. Like I just did something on Sunday with some people that it was just a little music video and they needed a mom and I really love them. And I'm like, sure, I'll pop in and be the mom, like that. There's no money. It's just for fun. But yeah, otherwise, if there's money involved, I let them take care of it.
All right. So
yeah.
There you have it. All right. So again, feel free to reach out, visit her online, send her an email. You can also go to her YouTube page. All that information is scrolling below. And please reach out to her if you have any questions or you just want to learn more about her. So Debra, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
It's awesome. And I look forward to our next conversation.
Me too. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. I'll send you backstage now. And you guys, it is just you and I. And that concludes our episode. Thank you so much for joining today. Please check out our YouTube channel for more videos and clips. And don't forget to subscribe. Oh, I actually forgot to put up my contact information. Okay. There we go. So yes, please check out our YouTube channel for more videos and clips. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to leave a comment below if you have any questions or you want to complain about the video or you want to tell me how much you love this episode. Feel free to leave a comment below. It definitely helps us it helps our algorithm. So thank you for that. And if you want to learn more about A Step Ahead Tutoring Services specifically, you can go to our website at www.astepAheadTutoringServices.com. And we are also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Eventbrite, and WhatsApp. So please check us out on our social media and don't forget to give us a follow. And one more thing before I disappear, to clear my throat, we are collecting donations to our crowdfunding campaign on ifundwomen.com. And I'm going to play a little video that will discuss that in detail. So please watch the video.
Hey there, have you heard of us? We're a small team of tutors here at A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. We believe that education and information should be accessible to everyone, regardless of income, race, or creed. We're dedicated to making this happen, but we need your help. Please consider donating to our crowdfunding campaign. No amount is too small. Your donation will allow us tutors to remain employed, offer free and low-cost services, and reach out to families nationwide. With your help, we can tackle the academic challenges of our students and the emotional, mental, and behavioral changes that result from these challenges. As a bonus, we can improve our communities in the process. Support us today. We're a for-profit company. Your donation may not be tax deductible. Please consult a tax professional.
And that's it for our episode. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for coming. Signing off. Bye.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather, now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.